It's an unexpected Senate emergency session on a Saturday, no less. The Senate is convening this sudden session to deliberate on two legislations.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I rise to second the motion.
It begins with extending the implementation of a 2022 Supplementary Appropriation Act from 30th June 2023 to 31st December 2023, supposedly to allow the federal government ministries and agencies more time to fully expend funds appropriated to them.
Since releases may start from next week, it is impossible that 819 billion that was provided in that supplementary appropriation could be utilized between now and end of June.
The second piece of legislation is much more controversial, the amendment of the CBN Act to increase the Apex Bank's total advances to the federal government from 5% to a maximum of 15%. The proposed amendment is to enable the federal government meet its immediate and future obligations in the approval of the Ways and Means by the National Assembly and advances to the federal government by the Central Bank of Nigeria. The Senate had approved the restructuring of 22.7 trillion naira Ways and Means advances given to the federal government by the CBN. President Buhari's request for Parliament to restructure 22.7 trillion naira Ways and Means advances drew the ire of financial experts and even some lawmakers who are alarmed that this loan is adding to Nigeria's huge debt burden and questioned why the federal government repeatedly borrowed from the CBN in excess of the 5% threshold of the previous year's revenue as stipulated by the CBN Act. At Saturday's emergency session, some lawmakers voiced concerns about the amendment.
15% for Ways and Means is quite high. Again, is it for this government or for the incoming? Because if 15% is taken, I don't see how it can be paid off within the stipulated time of 1 year that is in the CBN Act.
I thought we'll also be looking at amending Section 38, subsection 3, subsection B, that talked about securitization of Ways and Means. But I think the CBN Act expressly prohibits securitization of Ways and Means.
I think it's just giving government more space, but that also tasks the legislature to work hard to ensure that there is no repeat of what has happened.
The hurried amendment of the CBN Act, without passing it through the usual legislative process of subjecting the amendment to a public hearing, may be to ensure that President Buhari signs it into law before the expiration of his administration on May 29, 2023. Linda Akibe, Channels Television News.